We're going to be live on Facebook. We're going to be live on the YouTubes. And good afternoon to you. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. It is, what is this, Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday, 23rd of June, 2026. And this is going to be a little interesting because my primary internet, my secondary internet, my tertiary internet is offline. So we're on backup number 4, and that is a Starlink dish on top of my car wired into the office. So we'll see how this goes, but sometimes Mama Nature just wants to give you lemons, and in today's case, apparently it's a cut fiber line. So it is 4:52. We're monitoring a severe thunderstorm out here northwest of the city of Amarillo. This is going to be a supercell that has gotten its happy self all riled up out here. And that is the stream we're watching from meteorologist Jason Cooley. That is in the top box there. And we'll just go ahead. Well, it looks like he's moving now, but he has a pretty well-organized supercell. And he's northwest of Bishop Hills here. And this storm is moving due south towards Interstate 40. We have Chad Casey here on I-40 west of Bushland. So what we're going to be doing is keeping a close eye on things here. I need to make sure this stream on the YouTube is public. We're going to do that now. And hopefully the bandwidth on this stream is going to be okay. Again, my first 3 internet options are offline. My hardwire fiber, somebody cut that, and it's out for like everywhere near here. The cell networks are having some issues because of that, so I am on a Starlink dish that was not set up 2 hours ago, that is now set up on top of my car, wired into the office here. So hopefully that works out. It's not in the most ideal environment for a obstacle-free view, but it looks like it's going to work well enough to not be a total destruction fest. So let us know where you're watching from this afternoon and how y'all are doing. I am going to get on the YouTube side of things over here. If you're watching us on our 24/7 live weather stream, because of the bandwidth constraints I have, I'm actually just going to have to use the typical 24/7 stream, and I'm porting it over to everything else so I don't have to run multiple uplinks because I don't have the bandwidth right now. My bandwidth is about a 50th of what it normally is hardwired in with fiber. So we are going to talk about in just a minute the severe weather issues in North Texas. But I want to make sure we have the auto ads turned off on everything. So there we go on YouTube. So that's better there. All right. So let's go ahead. Again, this severe storm west of Amarillo, slowly moving south like 10 miles an hour. It could have up to tennis ball size hail and damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. We have a storm going up on Interstate 27 near Kafir, north of Tulia, south of Happy. That's slowly going to drift south. We have some storms on Highway 70 east of Plainview, northwest of Floydada, moving southeast. So let's go take a look at what we have going on down here in North Texas. This whole little cluster of storms we've been watching originated in Kansas and Colorado last night. It's been moving south, southeast all day, and now it has arrived in North Texas. We have a severe thunderstorm warning now for far northern Palo Pinto County, far northwestern Parker County. We have a severe storm warning for western Wise County. That does include Runaway Bay. This storm is going to be moving off to the southeast at about 45 miles an hour, and the issue with this is going to be damaging straight-line winds. Maybe some quarter-size hail. Again, this has been putting out some pretty decent winds today. At times, those winds have been quite obnoxious. Right now, looks like we're going to go for about 60-mile-an-hour winds, and maybe some hail up to the size of quarters. I don't think this storm has a particularly significant hail threat with it right now, but we definitely do have the potential for some strong to locally damaging winds. heavy rain, cloud-to-ground lightning, and some hail. This is not a big, bad, very mad, spaghetti-o tornado situation with these storms moving into North Texas. And if anything, truthfully, they're weaker than they were earlier, but given the environment in place, it's certainly possible we could have some localized damaging wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour. So that could knock some trees and power lines down, knock a few shingles off your roof, knock some fences down, loft a trampoline across the neighborhood, all that fun stuff. But this storm will be moving through places like Bryson up to German here, well, pretty much now. After that, this will be making its way towards Jacksboro, riding down Highway 281 towards the city of Jacksboro from Squaw Mountain and Antelope. This is pretty much on a beeline towards Jacksboro. Then it's going to visit Lake Bridgeport and Runaway Bay over to Chico in the next probably 50 to 60 minutes. So again, with the potential of some strong thunderstorm outflow winds, maybe some pocket change size hail, and some pretty heavy rain. Otherwise, we do have a band of showers and some thunderstorms out here across northern portions of Wise, Denton, Collin, Grayson, Fannin counties. There's nothing severe with that. We've got some heavy rain moving into northern Grayson County, Lake Texoma. We may have a flood threat develop again up here in parts of Grayson, Fannin, Lamar counties over to Red River County. And that's going to be because soils up there are saturated and, well, the potential will exist for these storms to produce some locally heavy rains. All right. The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Deaf Smith, Oldham, Potter, and Randall County in Texas.
Looks like we're going to have a new severe thunderstorm warning. And the image you're watching from meteorologist Jason Cooley, let's take a look at that. And what we're looking at here is a severe storm west of the city of Amarillo. This storm is going to be out on areas right now north of Interstate 40. Meteorologist Jason Cooley's heading south right now on 2381, heading towards Interstate 40. And I suspect he's going to go a wee bit west. In fact, let me press this, and I'll show you now. Meteorologist Jason Cooley's right here north of Bushland. He's heading south. We have storm chaser Chad Casey out here on Interstate 40. We'll share photography from him as we get it. But this is the storm we're looking at, moving due south right now. That new severe thunderstorm warning from the National Weather Service is going to include the west sides of Amarillo, west sides of 335 on the west sides of town, out to Bushland, Wildorado, Everett, from Gentry. Bishop Hills, you're getting some rain, but the hail is going to stay to your west. Nasty cloud-to-ground lightning right now. The storm's capable of producing hail up to the size of ping pong balls. It's come down a bit. And localized damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. So this storm will be crossing Interstate 40 probably by 5:30, but it's worth noting because it's only moving south at 15. This storm will have the potential to continue producing heavy rain and hail here out on Interstate 40. Around Bushland to Wildorado for a while. I'm trying to show y'all a loop, but apparently the radar just hates me. Let me try this on this side. And again, I'm running on not my primary internet, not my backup internet, not my second backup internet. I'm running off a third backup because we had a fiber line. I assume it's been cut or something. It's out in a couple counties, it sounds like. So the primary hard line is out. The cell networks are a bit overloaded, or I just don't have a good connection to them from my typical location. So we're using a Starlink dish, which I'm not in a spot that has great sky clearance, so we're kind of jerry-rigged that, but it seems to be working all right for now, and that's why we have, well, 4 backups. I don't know what the 5th backup would have been. I guess some string and a tin can. But this storm west of Amarillo, northwest Amarillo, will stay west of 287 and I-27, it looks like. It's moving due south right towards Bushland and Wildorado out here. So unless you want to get visited for some hail, some strong winds, I would not go west of 335 or east of 385 out here on I-40 in the Western Panhandle anytime soon. Meteorologist Jason Cooley up there. You can see his cute little headshot out here northwest of Bishop Hills. He's moving south to I-40, and then this TechStock camera is out here near Wildorado on Interstate 40. Okay, so we've got some other storms firing up out here in West Texas. We'll keep an eye on those. They're not severe yet, but they could become severe with a risk of hail and strong winds. I am going to turn these lights down. I don't even know if it matters that much. My head's reflective enough. And let's go back to North Texas. Now, we do have a mesoscale discussion. This is going to be from the Storm Prediction Center for North Texas. They indicate we may see a severe weather watch issued shortly for North Texas, Texoma, and Northeast Texas. This could include DFW, and they indicate the potential for damaging wind gusts will persist into the evening. So we do already have some issues with that. We've got a pretty gnarly cluster of thunderstorms that have been moving southeast out of North Texas and northwest Texas towards I-35. And that is something we're going to have to keep an eye on as it moves southeast with the potential of localized damaging wind gusts, heavy rain, maybe some pocket change size hail. But the ingredients do favor the threat of some pretty strong winds with all of this. All right, it doesn't look like we're live on Facebook, so I am going to fix that right now. It'll just give me a second. Sometimes technology is nice, sometimes technology is not nice, and today technology has not been nice. But that's okay. You know what? It's always fun to get to test out the technology. So that is what we are gonna do today. All right, I just need to press some buttons here. And again, my apologies. We are running with some pretty comparatively slow internet to what I'd be usually using for this. But you know what? We did that for many years. And we're still going to be able to do it just fine. So we'll press that. We'll press that. And we're going to be good to go. All right, here we go, Facebook. So, severe storms out approaching the city of Jacksboro right now. These are going to be moving southeast at about 45 miles an hour with a damaging wind threat. It's possible these are going to continue and persist all the way through DFW. So those of you in Wise County, Parker County, Tarrant, Denton, heads up. This cluster of storms is moving southeast with damaging winds, heavy rain, some lightning. At this point, it's not a tornado issue. Now, would I completely rule out a brief tornado? No. But we should not have a real high issue with a tornado threat with these storms out here today. That doesn't mean the threat is zero, though. Looks like we're going to have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out for this storm near
National
Floyd
Weather
data.
Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Floyd and Hale County in Texas.
So this new severe thunderstorm warning is going to be out here for Floyd data. This is going to be a new severe storm capable of producing quarter-size hail and localized damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. This storm will be moving off to the southeast at about 15 miles an hour. So those of you in Floyd data, heads up, this will be heading your way with the potential of hail up to the size of quarters and localized damaging straight-line winds over 60 miles an hour. Given today's overall environment, it certainly isn't impossible for us to be dealing with some strong to localized damaging wind gusts. All right, we're going to have to do some weird way of going live on Facebook. I honestly don't know if I have enough bandwidth to sustain a live stream on Facebook plus everything else. So if not, we'll just have to forward folks from Facebook. But again, we are now live on Facebook. We're live on multiple YouTubes, and there we go. So, good afternoon. I'm Texas Storm Chaser Spalding and Chief David Reimer. We're live with severe weather coverage here on the 23rd of June 2026. We have storms in West Texas. We've got storms in the Panhandle. We've got storms in North Texas. And 3 of the 4 of my primary internet sources are offline, so I'm having to use a low-speed backup version. So my apologies if we get a little laggy at times, but my internet speeds are not what they usually are. So it's kind of like trying to shove a softball through a garden hose at times. And we'll just hopefully keep things going. We've got a severe thunderstorm moving southeast into Jack County this afternoon. This is going to be a severe storm capable of producing damaging winds approaching the city of Jacksboro, moving southeast at about 45 miles an hour. This storm is going to continue moving southeast, likely towards Wise, Parker counties. It's going to include Runaway Bay, north sides of Mineral Wells, and then eventually probably down towards Weatherford and Decatur. In the next hour, this storm is capable of producing quarter-size hail and localized damaging wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. So with that, that could be enough to cause some issues with power lines, etc. This is not a situation where we have a tornado issue right now. The tornado threat is very, very low. I'm never going to say zero because that's just not a good idea when Mama Nature's involved. But this is not a day where a tornado issue is likely with these storms moving across North Texas. It's not completely zero, but it is not likely either. We're going to have issues with damaging winds and hail. And apparently, as we can now see on meteorologist Jason Cooley's camera above my big shiny bald head, apparently we got fires, which unfortunately is kind of not a surprise out here. Meteorologist Jason Cooley, that's his head right here north of Bushland. He's looking back northwest, I believe, and this is going to be a wildfire that's been sparked by very obnoxious cloud-to-ground lightning. In fact, we'll go ahead and take that view full now. And you can see that, I mean, good gravy, sweet Mary. Here, I'll just turn the audio on. And let's see what we get. Now, y'all on Facebook are not going to be able to hear this because of the way I had to route this. It's Facebook's fault, not mine. If you're watching everywhere else, Twitch, YouTube, X, our mobile app, our website, you'll be able to hear this. But check out that nasty header. And you can also see the smoke from that is being ingested into this severe storm. So you have that header there, that smoke coming up from the ground. You can see a pretty nasty looking header at that. Probably likely have a pretty heavy, dense load of brush there. Local authorities and the A&M Forest Service, I'm sure, are aware of that and responding. But that is the storm out here west of Amarillo, north of Bushland, moving south with the potential of at least ping-pong ball size hail and localized damaging wind gusts over 60 to 70 miles an hour and an obnoxious amount of cloud-to-ground lightning. So Jason's on this storm west of Amarillo, north of Bushland. A new severe thunderstorm watch is now in effect for North Texas and Texoma until 10 p.m. That's going to be for DFW, Greenville, Mount Pleasant, Paris, Longview. So again, severe thunderstorm watch for DFW as we see storms move off to the southeast towards DFW. And you can see impressive storm structure, a nice mesocyclone and updraft with this storm west of Amarillo. Pretty high based right now, so not much of a tornado issue, but definitely big hail, damaging winds, and a whole lot of lightning. Now, for first responders who might be listening, firefighters, we are going to have very erratic and dangerous outflow winds from these storms. So if you're fighting a wildland fire or even a structure fire, keep in mind, if you're near these storms, you're going to have a lot of dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning. You're also going to have very erratic, dangerous winds that could easily change directions and become quite intense quickly with little warning, which could turn, a relatively simple flanking line into a new head and result in some pretty aggressive fire behavior. As you can see clearly by Jason's stream up there with the big black, very angry header of doom indicating some very nasty fuel loads and heavy brush. And you can see Jason's here on Interstate 40 now in Bushland, looking northwest. We have Chad Casey a little west of him near Wildorado. All right, severe thunderstorm warning now. This is going to be down here near Floydada, Lockney, here on Highway 70. This is going to be for a severe storm moving south-southeast at about 15 miles an hour with the potential of localized damaging wind gusts over 70 miles an hour and at least quarter-size hail. And what I want to do is I want to put this product on. I just want to put a loop on to give y'all a sense of the motion with these storms. And I'm trying to give everybody their own fair share here and not hit the wrong buttons like I just did. Listen to this. So what we have is, again, this intensifying storm northwest of Floydada with up to quarter-size hail. I said earlier this storm north of Bushland was weakening. Well, that has ended. Storm is now having a temper tantrum, and we know it's really not moving all that fast. It's still moving south, but there is more of a hail core now developing just west of Bishop Hills, northwest of Bushland. And this storm is slowly moving south. So I-40 is going to be a no-no zone here real quick between, east of Vega, west of 335 on the west sides of Amarillo, unless you want to take wind-driven destructive hail to your windshields and windows. Out here in North Texas, we have a severe storm over the city of Jacksboro that's moving southeast with damaging straight-line winds, the potential of large hail, Heavy rain. This is not a tornado situation right now. There's not a high tornado threat with this activity moving into Jacksboro, but there's some nasty winds. Some go-go juice. And this storm is going to keep moving southeast, probably making its way towards Decatur, Bridgeport, Runaway Bay, northern Parker County, eventually Springtown. This is going to be a storm with some damaging straight line winds, maybe some pocket change size hail, heavy rain, and lightning. This is, it's not like the late April, early May storms. Let's make that abundantly clear. That's for sure. This is a windbag, not a spinny doom trying to, level things. Now, we do have a complex of storms approaching northeast Texas. It's starting to look a little more rambunctious, and the threat of damaging winds is probably going to increase with this activity as it moves southeast into portions of Grayson, Fannin, Lamar counties. Lamar County Paris got slammed with flooding earlier today. It even resulted in some evacuations. We know there is a shelter open in Blossom at the Blossom Elementary School. So, if by chance you know someone or are listening from around Lamar County, the Paris area, we know there's a shelter open for those of you who have been displaced due to flooding in Blossom. If I hear of any other shelters, I'll let you know. And again, that's out here on 82 east of Paris, west of Detroit, there at the Blossom Elementary School. Otherwise, this cluster of storms moving southeast is going to likely result in additional flooding and heavy rain, along with some damaging winds and an obnoxious amount of cloud-to-ground lightning. You can see meteorologist Jason Cooley, his stream. We'll go to this full screen. It's actually getting very structured now. When we say a well-structured supercell, this is what we mean. I'm going to put my scary self on here real quick. And this is going to be spooky, so I apologize, but I'm going to manipulate my image so I can, telestrate without having to literally move. We're going to use my head as the telestrator here, so let's just pretend my big shiny bald head is the marker, but you can see one fire above my head right there. Here we go. Guess what? Big fire off my head. That's caused by lightning. That smoke is being ingested upward into the supercell, like that, being sucked right up. Now check out this storm structure. Look at this. You're starting to get those striations now. This whole thunderstorm is rotating. So when it does that, you can start seeing, amazing storm structure like this. And behind the storm structure, behind my big shiny bald head, is your hail core of doom, where we have at least golf ball, if not baseball size hail now falling. So again, that's what we have there. You can see a prolific amount of cloud to ground lightning, hence this fire. And then we'll say hi to meteorologist Jason Cooley. Hi, Jason. Howdy. And with that, we are done with the scary bald head of doom. Back to the radar we go, and I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, because I'm sure it'll end up on YouTube. This storm definitely has an interesting signature to it in terms of the radar. Hey, radar, I know I'm using slow internet here, but could we actually load pretty please? Pretty please and thank you. Come on now. Come on, Starlink. Oh, I just crashed the whole program. Okay, well, while that resets, let's go back here. I'll reset the program real quick. You can look at the beautiful supercell west of Amarillo. And by the way, if you want to, this is meteorologist Jason Cooley's live stream. You can go watch him on YouTube. You can watch his live stream there. Just, individually himself. So let's get back to it. And again, let's take a look at what we have. This is the storm he's looking at. And you can see the hail marker here has gone up to 4 inches according to radar. So this storm could easily be producing baseball-size hail. And we are starting to see an increased amount of mid-level rotation. I'll say that for sure. And, you know, this is north of a boundary, which typically would not promote tornado genesis. But, you know, we'll see. So again, if you're traveling or know anyone traveling out here in the Panhandle, Interstate 40, don't go west of Amarillo. Don't go west of the 335, the West Loop. And do not go east of Vega in 385. This thing's probably going to be dropping baseball to softball size hail up here in the eastern portions of Oldham, western Potter County. And this thing is kind of trying to spin itself up. I mean, my goodness. Now, we don't see any visual evidence that this is actually producing anything that would, you know, become a tornado, but just look at the smoke. I mean, Jason better have a time lapse going to this. That's insane. In fact, I'm gonna do one better. Oh yeah, don't move, Jason. That is like the perfect time lapse. So that is the view for meteorologist Jason Cooley. That's this severe storm up here west of Bishop Hills, north of Bushland, moving south-southeast towards Bushland and Wildorado. The potential for up to baseball-size hail, winds of 70 miles an hour, and it's starting wildfires as well. We'll keep an eye out for areas of rotation as well. But you can see the smoke just being sucked into that, which, again, I said the erratic winds here would make firefighting very difficult, and that's true. This fire's probably changed directions now from moving south. Now the smoke's being ingested into the storm, so it's moving west. And then once the storm moves over it, it's going to move all sorts of different directions. But, wow, what a beautiful supercell. You see, I know we have so many storms in Texas. You know, when you're watching me, it's usually because we're doing tornado coverage. And this year, it's been the eastern half of Texas. We've had monstrous storms, middle of the night, rain wrapped or out in the trees, you know, producing, you know, destruction. Well, sometimes you get storms like this that are, frankly, why I used to storm chase. You know, this is what I would, I mean, I drive hours just to see this. It's beautiful. The storm structure, you know, if you're a photographer, you try to get lightning shots, the challenge of that, making sure your shutter speed, all that is set up correctly, your aperture. And, I mean, the time-lapse ability of this is going to be impressive. We have Storm Chaser Blake Brown, Storm Chaser Chad Casey, meteorologist Jason Cooley up here, and I suspect one of them at least is going to have an amazing time-lapse out of this, and I can't wait to show you that later. But y'all aren't watching me for that. If you want to watch Jason's feed and hear him and, you know, get away from me, you can go watch his stuff on YouTube. Just search for Jason Cooley, but we'll get back to it. I know we have other storms, and I'm, you know, doing nerdy things here, but again, this storm is moving south with baseball-size hail, winds to 70, and the potential for some increasing rotation as well, though we're not seeing any visual evidence from Jason right now of that. You just saw more scary lightning, and that storm's only moving south at 10. Floyd Data, guess what? Your storm has become more rambunctious in the hail department, and if you are out there near Wildorado and all that, the Weather Service just upgraded this to a destructive thunderstorm warning. So that means your phones are going off and all that. This storm near Floyd Data is also becoming intense quite quickly. We're seeing the hail threat rapidly increase with this now. This storm's going to be moving southeast at about 15 miles an hour. The threat of hail, at least tennis balls now. This thing went from nothing to really stinking quick. Well, guess what? That's what happens from time to time. So, again, we now have a thunderstorm west of Amarillo with baseball to softball size hail. We now have a thunderstorm just northwest of Floydada out here in West Texas with up to tennis ball size hail, and that hail threat could continue to increase. So heads up, Floydada, you're on the verge of having a destructive thunderstorm warning yourself with the potential of at least tennis ball size hail, damaging winds, heavy rain. Quite a bit of wind with this as well. That's moving southeast. Let's go back to North Texas. This storm is much less of a hail threat and more of a wind threat. You can see how much less how hard its raining mode looks. You know, we're not seeing any of those purples, blacks. We're seeing very angry wind, though. In fact, you can see here, approaching the West Fork of the Trinity River out here in eastern Wise County, just west of Lake Bridgeport, radar detecting winds of around 60 to 65 miles an hour. And this storm is going to be moving towards Chico, Runaway Bay, Joplin, Bridgeport, again with the potential of some damaging straight line winds, some very heavy rain, dangerous cloud to ground lightning. I'm going to go switch the tech stock cameras here, give y'all a better look of that. And again, top box is meteorologist Jason Cooley there on the west side of Amarillo. And bottom box is going to be Runaway Bay for some damaging winds. Not as much of a hail threat, though. Pretty rowdy cluster of storms now moving across southeastern Oklahoma towards Fannin and Lamar counties. You're going to have some very heavy rain. Could be some strong winds with that as well. If that cluster intensifies any more, the threat of damaging winds could increase. And we're going to have flooding issues with this as well. Probably, though unlike this morning's storms, at least this activity is moving at a pretty good clip, so it won't stick around long, but another round of flooding certainly is going to be possible with that as it moves off to the southeast. So, this activity in North Texas will continue moving southeast about 40-ish miles an hour, with lightning, heavy rain, and gusty winds. And then Jacksboro, you're getting wind right now out towards Vineyard. That'll be moving towards Lake Bridgeport and Runaway Bay. Could also have some strong gusty winds with this rain shield north of Mineral Wells as well. Back out west, this is where we've got the pretty unhappy hailstorms right now. You can see we've got a storm over Floydada. That's capable of at least golf ball size hail, and to be honest, it may be up to tennis balls. That's moving southeast. And then we have this dangerous, destructive this destructive thunderstorm out here now west of Bishop Hills, Bushland, Wildorado. This storm is now capable of producing baseball to softball size hail, and that is the storm we're looking at right now in the top box from meteorologist Jason Cooley. And again, there are storms in the Panhandle in West Texas. There are days you chase storms, not because of a tornado threat, but because of storm structure. And let me tell you, somebody's going to have a picture of this in our 2027 weather calendar. This is a calendar photo-worthy event. I mean, look, we don't enjoy the destructive nature of these storms. But at the same time, I chased for a long time. I don't chase anymore. I'm here doing this. But look at the structure of this supercell. Look at how it is striated, the carved out mesocyclone. Look at how you have that precipitation shield in the center, and then all that air being sucked up into the thunderstorm. Look how high up that updraft goes. It's rotating around, carving out its mesocyclone. You see little striations there as well. This whole thing is rotating. And in fact, I know we have meteorologist Jason Cooley. That's his shot. We have storm chaser Chad Casey and storm chaser Blake Brown. They're there right now. We're going to have a time lapse of this posted later. And when you see that time lapse, you're going to see just how much motion there really is with this thunderstorm. Off to the right-hand side, that's looking north. Right side is north, left side is south. You're looking due west right now, and that's going to be the hail core on the right side of the screen. So that is impressive. All right, looks like we're going to have a new flash
The
flood
National
warning.
Weather Service has issued a new flash flood warning for
McCurtain County in Oklahoma, Bowie, and Red River County in Texas.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Lamb County in Texas.
We're also going to have a tornado warning. Flash flood warning is going to be quickly before this thing overlaps. Red River County, Clarksville, into southeast Oklahoma.
Your attention, please. The National Weather Service has issued a new tornado warning for
Deaf Smith, Oldham, Potter, and Randall County in Texas.
All right, this is going to be a tornado warning for this thunderstorm in western Potter, eastern Oldham counties. So this is now a tornado warning for a circulation that is becoming more apparent here on the weather radar. Now, we've got a pretty good visual of this right now. You can see that. Don't see a tornado at this point, but it could be wrapped in some rain and hail. So the Weather Service has issued a tornado warning now for areas west of Amarillo. This is far western Potter, eastern Oldham counties in the Panhandle. This is going to include Interstate 40 around Highway 809. So if you're in Wildorado, east of Vega, west of Bushland, need you to take your tornado safety precautions. That's going to be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And the tornado warned storm is that. Big bad, very mad, very ominous looking supercell approaching Wildorado and Bushland, Texas. And again, that's from meteorologist Jason Cooley. We're going to be watching this with great interest. And this is the which way the wind's blowing mode. And again, right before that updated, you could see there was a bit of spin showing up there. Here's your how hard it's raining mode. You do have an inflow notch right here. This is your rear flank downdraft. And again, the Weather Service is elected to put a tornado warning on this. The potential also exists for baseball to softball size hail with this storm as it slowly moves south at like 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's just sitting. The storm is just not moving that much. But as it continues to move south, I-40 is about to get a very unhappy hailstorm here from Wildorado to Bushland. So we'll keep an eye on that. New severe thunderstorm warning out near Sudan. That's for a storm capable of producing probably at least golf ball size hail and damaging winds over 60. This will include Highway 84 from east of Fairview, west of Amherst. This is going to be north of Friendship, north of Beck, crossing 303, very near Highway 84 right now. That's going to be moving off to the northeast, east-northeast at about 15 miles an hour. And again, the clear and present indication is any storms out here we get going are dropping really big hail. Welcome back to the springtime environment where we actually have some wind shear in place. So guess what happens when it feels like summer and we end up with wind shear? That's how we start having storms produce big hail. We do have a report of a landspout tornado out here near Harmony. That's just it's a weak type of tornado. But we do have a report of that now, west of Floydada. The storm west of Floydada definitely has the potential of producing golf ball to tennis ball size hail. And it's moving southeast at about 15 miles per hour. So Floydada, worst of the hail may stay just to your west, but it's going to be close. Lockney, you have a bit of a hail core extending up 378 towards 70 in Lockney. We'll have to see if y'all are getting bigger hail, though. You might just get some quarter-size hail, but those of you down in down in Floydada, west to Harmony, and Barwise could definitely be dealing with some pretty nasty hail right now. The potential of damaging winds, heavy rain, cloud to ground lightning, and what could be golf ball to tennis ball size hail with this activity as it moves southeast. You can see that's a pretty nasty looking thunderstorm there, with lightning. Storm southeast of Hart, just north of Edmondson, south of Center Plains, west of Cress is also showing indications of producing large hail. That storm may get a severe thunderstorm warning of its own. It's moving right now east at about 10 miles an hour. So these storms out in the western half of Texas, they're not moving quickly. They're moving 10 miles an hour. So they are not quickly moving. They're your typical early summer type storms that aren't in a hurry to go anywhere. Can't say the same for these storms out in North Texas. They're moving more quickly, part of a thunderstorm complex that started in Colorado and Kansas last night. We've got heavy rain, lightning, and gusty winds right now from just east of Sherman to Bells, up to Bettis, Elwood, up to Newt, Belk to Archer City. That's all moving southeast. That could result in another quick inch or two of rain around Fannin County, Lamar County, into Red River County, where we already have a new flash flood warning. And that storm's moving southeast at 40. We have what honestly seems to be a decaying thunderstorm, but with some good wind with it still. Eastern Jack, Western Wise County. This one's going to have more bite than it looks on radar. I think we probably got a decent amount of wind with this. It's not a tornadic situation. It's not a hail. It's a wind and some heavy rain. So I would not be on Lake Bridgeport right now. We could have some very dangerous erratic winds. Let's go back to the Panhandle storm. Meteorologist Jason Cooley taking a look at that. And I'll go ahead and even turn audio on.
Hey, good. What's up, man?
We're not going to listen to audio of him on the...
You see my live stream? My Facebook. I can't talk. I'm in the middle of a baseball storm. East of Amarillo.
So, Jason is west of Amarillo on this storm up here. And again, this does have a tornado warning now for Windthirst, not Windthirst, Wildorado, out on Interstate 40. And that is going to be in eastern Oldham, western Potter counties. And look at the updraft shape on that. We'll get back here so you can see both. But there you go. And that's a beautiful thunderstorm, but one that is dangerous, capable of producing very large hail, damaging winds, and lightning. And I'll tell you what you don't like to see? Let's show you. Jason's looking at Interstate 40. Let me get rid of this. You see all these cars traveling out here on I-40? Driving willy-nilly through a tornado warning, a destructive thunderstorm warning, baseball, softball size hail, damaging winds, a potential rain-wrapped tornado back in that little rain right there. Folks, this is an example of what we don't want you to do. If you're out driving, you get that warning. You don't want to drive into this. It may be a case where you can say visually, oh, I don't see a tornado. Sure. But guess what's about to fall out of the sky? Softball size hail. You know what softball size hail likes to do to windows, especially in cars driving at highway speeds? It goes through them. Ask me how I know. Hint. I drove highway speeds through a hailstorm with softball size hail and it went through my windshield and my headlight assembly. You don't want to do that. So, there's your Baldy-in-Chief history lesson of the day. And lightning. So, that's a very beautiful thunderstorm. Dangerous, but beautiful. And what I meant to show you is you can see the blue sky next to it. And it's also trying to strike Jason with lightning, apparently. So that's this storm here. Let's go back to Floyd data. Floyd data. Big, bad, very mad supercell with big, bad, very mad hail. Mad hail. I'm going to adjust this camera view again. And we're going to go back out here to Interstate 40, and we're going to let the TxDOT camera show us as someone's getting their behind destroyed with hail. And I'm willing to bet, just bet, there's no camera right where the hail core here is. Nah, I'm not seeing a good visual evidence of that. But we'll keep an eye on this camera just in case. This is Bushland, TxDOT camera, and then Jason is located out here west of Bushland. halfway between Bushland and Wildorado. And then we also have Storm Chaser Chad Casey out here as well. He's going down 809 to stay with this storm. So let's go south. We've got a storm near Sudan that has the potential of producing hail, probably up to the size of golf balls. Over 84 right now from Amherst to Sudan, hail core right over Sudan right now, moving east along 1843 towards FM 1055. That'll be over 385 north of Cofferville by 6:45 p.m. We have a severe storm southwest of Conn Center, or I shouldn't say severe, but it probably will be soon. That could have at least quarter-size hail. That's just east of 168, east of Spade, southwest of Conn Center, moving southeast towards Highway 54. Eventually, this storm is going to move southeast, at least the way it's looking right now. Well, let me look. It's moving east. That storm track's off. It's moving kind of closer towards Conn Center and Highway, if it's going to tell me. It's not going to tell me. That's just mean and hateful. 179. You can see we just have a lot of storms out here firing right now. So things begin a little busy, and look at that striated base of that mesocyclone. Holy moly guacamole, ladies and gentlemen. That thing has more attitude than I do when I'm over-caffeinated. Let's look at that. Woo, mama! Now, I know, ladies and gentlemen, that you're probably tired of me talking about how photogenic this storm is, but it is. And with that in mind, don't go outside if it's over you, because we don't want you getting hurt by hail or lightning or, the tornado warning. But, if you're in Amarillo looking west, hey, you know what? You do you. Now, Mr. Meteorologist Jason Cooley is going to reposition himself to stay with the storm and also not get destroyed by softball-size hail. Though, to be realistic, I don't think Jason really cares that much if he gets into mega hail. His wife might, and rightfully so, but... Alright, so let's do some loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-doo and show you storm motion so I can say, hoo-hoo! And that is what we are going to do. Hey radar, please be nice, thank you. So you can see, we've got storms that have just gone blossoming over the last while. In fact, let me see if we can't get you some pretty, I don't know, I better not load, I'll try to load the satellite. I just remembered I'm on satellite internet, so this may not load, but it actually shockingly did. Let's do this version instead. Here you can see we've just had storms pop up out here in the Panhandle, especially along and south of Interstate 40 at this point, into West Texas, and you can see a whole lot of thunderstorm activity continuing out here. And these storms are hail. Now, let's go back to North Texas. Now, at this point, the good news is, North Texas, really right now, you're okay. Now, we do have storms rolling in. None of them are severe now. They have lightning and gusty winds and some locally heavy rain. We have no big hail. We have no crazy 80-mile-an-hour winds. We don't have tornadoes. Main issue right now with these storms moving towards northern DFW and northeast Texas is going to be locally heavy rain with some street flooding, dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning, maybe some 40 to 50-mile-an-hour winds. We don't have big hail. We don't have big angry wind of doom right now. We don't have spinny doom-dooms. So there you go with that. Looks like meteorologist Jason Cooley's getting some hail there. You can see he's filming folks parked under the bridges there on the I-40 access road. And notice, actually, you know what? They're not even, they're not blocking travel lanes. So, for all the gripes many of us have in the weather department about people parking under bridges and blocking lanes, at least they're not doing that right there. So I have no problem with that, truthfully. I mean, it's not wise to do that in tornado warnings, but let's pop some audio on. Now, those of you on Facebook, you're not going to be able to hear the audio from Jason's stream because of how I'm doing this on Facebook, because technology hates me. Everyone else, though, you can hear that going pop, pop, pop. I'll just show you full screen. You can see some pretty good hail there already. That's probably quarter to ping pong.
Golf ball sized hail falling.
Golf balls?
I-40 near Wildorado.
You can hear that I-40 near Wildorado. Golf ball size hail falling right now on Interstate 40. And it's probably going to get a bit bigger. You know, we're doing okay. You've got dangerous lightning, gusty winds, locally heavy rain, but we have no severe storms in North Texas right now, which is good. Let's check on my internet package here and see if they have a service restoration update. 7 p.m., we'll see. This is where having the benefit of Ubiquity hardware is handy for the switchovers. Failover is what it's called, but my 2 other backups also failed, so I had to go manually hook up a Starlink and then wire that up, and that's how we're doing this now. You can see storm structure for meteorologist Jason Cooley while he's getting hit with golf ball size hail there in Wildorado, Texas. Let's get back to West Texas, Amarillo. This is the storm. You can see meteorologist Jason Cooley's positioning here. He is on I-40, a couple miles west of Bushland, east of Wildorado. This storm's moving south at about 10 miles an hour. And you can hear that hail. That's some nasty, mean hail. Boy. Lightning and hail galore for meteorologist Jason Cooley, southwest of Bushland. That's what this storm's slowly moving south. So you don't want to be on Interstate 40 right now, going east of 385, going west of 335. Bushland's getting hail. Wildorado's getting hail. I-40 is getting hail. We've got some storms with small hail now near Umbarger. There on Highway 60 near Dawn, west of Canyon. Generally moving east at about 20 miles an hour. We've got some storms going up near Dimmitt. Those could have some hail soon. We've got a storm near Edmondson moving east towards Interstate 27 from Crest, Center Plains to Finney. That could have some hail. Same thing. Hail center up to halfway. Another storm that could have some hail. We've got I don't know what number storm this would be, but approaching Con Center, 179. This storm could have some pretty big hail with it. And as you can hear from meteorologist Jason Cooley, stream, he's got hail galore. We've got storms from Floydada to McCoy to Cone. Those could have up to tennis ball size hail now and 60-mile-an-hour winds. Moving southeast at 15 miles an hour. Eventually, that's going to make it down to Cone. It's going to make it down 62 towards 193, and then eventually 82 and 114 from Crosbyton to Ralls, but that's still at least an hour away. We've got a storm over Highway 84 from Sudan to Amherst, and another one near Circleback, all moving east, only about 10 to 15 miles an hour with the potential of hail. And oh, look, another storm going up just southeast of Sundown, west of Ropesville, southwest of Arnett. So let's review. We have a severe storm moving towards Cone. We have a storm going up west of Ropesville. Does anyone else want to name their towns after tornado shapes? Because that's just what I'm getting out of this right now. And again, if we're not talking about a storm near you, that's usually a good omen. You can always track what's going on near you with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. We've got interactive weather radar, your local weather forecasts nationwide. Poor Jason. We'll go ahead and mute Mr. Meteorologist Jason for now. You can go watch a stream on YouTube if you want. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers and meteorologist Jason Cooley. So, North Texas, good news, it just rain. That's it right now. Rain with cloud-to-ground lightning. Now, we do have a couple of pop-up storms going up here. We've got a storm near Bethlehem, just south of Crossroads, and we've got a storm south of Ore City near Ashland. Those storms could have some small hail and cloud-to-ground lightning. They're going to be moving off to the east. I'm trying to get the radar loop to load here. And you can see those have gone up pretty quick over the last 30 minutes. The potential for some small hail, cloud-to-ground lightning, and heavy rain. We'll see if we have any other storms go up in East Texas this afternoon. But this is crossing over Highway 271 near Betty to Bethlehem, south of Crossroads. Some small hail near Brumley on 2454. And then another couple storms from Old Diana, south of Ore City. And then near Clearwater up to Hopewell. Big old rain shield moving into Lamar County, Fannin County.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning
Red River
for
County.
Crosby, and Floyd County in Texas.
And that activity has dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning and heavy rain. This activity moving over Runaway Bay is dissipating. The way it looks, it's weakened considerably, which is good news for y'all in DFW. So DFW, you're looking better right now. We'll see if we have any new storms develop, but this cluster that originated in Colorado and Kansas is finally weakening. Back out into West Texas, we have a severe storm riding down Highway 62 towards Ralls from Floyd Data and McCoy. That storm's going to be capable of producing tennis ball size hail and localized damaging wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. So heads up to y'all in Ralls, Crosbyton, Cone, Mount Blanco, Owens, Caprock, Highway 62, Highway 207. Storm moving south with the potential of tennis ball size hail, damaging winds, heavy rain. You can see in these storms an outflow boundary. That's what this green line is, by the way. This is an outflow boundary moving southwest. We're going to have to watch these storms that hit it, or vice versa, the outflow boundary that hits these storms. That could act as a catalyst and make these things go from yippity yippity to yippity 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 doo. It's softball size hail time. So that's what we're going to have to watch for. All right, I got to find a URL link. All right, I need to press some buttons here. So again, we got stormies galore. And these storms in West Texas and the Panhandle, by the way, are going to continue for several hours. Excuse me. I'm yawning. Must mean I need to drink water.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Meteorologist Jason
Smith,
Cooley at the
Oldham,
storm well
Potter,
southwest
and
of
Randall
Amarillo.
County in Texas.
Sometimes I just stop talking, I know. In reality, I could just turn the audio back on from this. From Jason's stream, and you can hear some raindrops and hail.
Some golf balls falling still.
Jason has golf balls there southwest of Bushland. But you can hear. Water.
Texas local storm report from 2 miles east-southeast of Wildorado in Oldham County, Texas. Hail magnitude estimated 2.75 inches. Reported by Train Spotter.
That sounded
Additional
large.
information, Train Spotter called in to report.
Alright, so, back to the radar. Looks like they'll let that tornado warning go for western Potter, eastern Oldham counties. That storm does not really show a tornadic signature at this point. Well, alright, hold the horses there. What the heck is that? This is what I get. I'm going to be very displeased if I see some scary couplet. I mean, there still is rotation, but, you know, look, if we end up with something, we're going to find out pretty quick. We have meteorologist Jason Cooley there. We've got storm chaser Chad Casey, storm chaser Blake Brown. We've got folks there that will let us know. But that storm is moving south. We've got storms farther south. Sudan, Littlefield, that's one storm that could have large hail. We've got storms from Crest to Plainview to just northwest of Abernathy. Those storms could have hail as they move off to the east. Northeast, we've got a storm south of Floydada now, moving towards Cone and Ralls. That storm could have tennis ball size hail. Localized damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. Well, this says my fiber internet just came back. I guess we'll find out here in just a minute. But that'd be nice to have the mega internet of life back. But looking at this storm, northeast of Lorenzo, west of Cone, I don't like the look of that hook echo at all. Boy, that is a nasty looking storm. Alright, we're gonna mute that audio for now. And based on my looks like my fiber is back. Yay, fiber! It is most definitely back. So we're back on the super duper fast internet. That makes me happy. All right. So again, this nasty storm out here west of Cone, southwest of McCoy, moving south, has the potential of at least tennis ball size hail, damaging winds, and we might have to deal with a bit of a brief tornado issue out here as well. We'll see. And then all these other storms out here, from Sudan to Abernathy to Plainview, all these have the potential of hail as well. Farther north, we've got this storm southwest of Amarillo. Now starting to push just south of Bushland. You can see that hook echo there, just east of Highway 809. That'll be moving down towards FM 1062. With the potential of tennis ball size hail and damaging straight line winds over 60 miles an hour. We technically still have a tornado warning with that. It is about to move out of that polygon, though, so we're just going to have to see where it ends up. Nice lightning strike, though.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Hale, Lubbock, and Swisher County in Texas.
Just a heads up, the desktop version wouldn't let me join. It was giving me an error about a technical fault. I had to join on my phone. Anyway. Sorry, sometimes when you're supposed to be in a call, you just gotta join and observe. So, preparedness talk. All right, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be out on Interstate 27, those storms we were talking about. So this is going to be for the cluster of storms out here from Crest to Plainview, west of Underwood, southwest of Hale Center. At least quarter-size hail with all this. Could be larger than that in spots. This is going to be all the way from Abernathy north, up Interstate 27 through Plainview, Hale Center, Petersburg, Crest, Con Center, Halfway, Claytonville, Seth Ward, and Edmondson. All this activity is going to be moving generally off to the east or east-southeast at about 20 miles an hour. And again, that big issue with this is going to be hail. We've got storms from Sudan down to Amherst. These storms are going to be moving off to the southeast, or at least off to the east with the potential of hail as well. We've got this storm on 207 north of 62 moving down right towards Ralls. That storm has the potential of tennis ball size hail and localized damaging winds over 60 miles per hour. And then we've got this storm well southwest of Amarillo now moving south. You can see this still has a very classic supercell shape to it. You've got your hook echo right here where we have descending winds on the backside of the thunderstorm, resulting in an area of spin aloft, but this storm has not been able to get that spin to make it down to the surface. Still, big hail, damaging winds. We are going to have to watch, though. We're about to have a storm merger occur here. This storm is kind of moving like this, and this storm is going to eat it. So as that happens, sometimes that can result in some enhanced low-level spin. Whether or not that's what's going to happen here, we'll see. We have meteorologist Jason Cooley here. I mean, literally, he is looking at and into the storm. So we've got a visual of whatever happens with this. We'll keep an eye on it. North Texas. I know many of you out here are wondering what is going on. Why is the bald man speaking? Well, good news. For DFW, you're A-okay. There's not a thing going on in DFW right now, minus some decaying thunderstorms and some gusty winds. Now, we do have a strong storm over Paris up to Amherst and Lone Star. This is going to be moving east through Blossom. These areas were very hard hit this morning with flash flooding. Same thing goes for areas out towards Clarksville. Y'all are already under a new flash flood warning. And these storms, as they continue to move east, the good news is these are moving more quickly with the potential of some heavy rain, high winds, and lightning. But they are not severe. What we are also watching are some pop-up storms out here from Gilmer to Pittsburgh to Ore City. These, slowly moving east, could have some pea to dime size hail, cloud to ground lightning, and locally heavy rain. But those are more of your summer pop-ups than something like we've got out in West Texas right now. We'll go back out west, and, well, here you go. We've got this storm near Cone. We've got this storm from Sudan to Meadow. We've got the storm near Crest to Plainview to Hale Center, which not only is going to result in some flooding issues, but hail. We've got the storm southwest of Amarillo that went tornado warned. That storm, it's not looking tornadic right now. Trust me, we're looking right up into it for meteorologist Jason Cooley, but still some hail. We're going to have to see what these storm mergers do as well. You can see a lot of these little storms are moving. Holy moly, that was big hail. I missed him zooming in on the hail, but we'll go ahead and we'll put the audio back on here just in case. Out hail.
Oh, it just hit. Oh my god, I hit the field right here.
Oh. And now Jason's almost...
Right there. That's the dust from the lightning strike. Whoa!
Well. That was interesting, wasn't it? I prefer not seeing meteorologist Jason Cooley get struck by lightning, but remember when lightning is frightening, get your keister indoors? That's why.
Tighten this thing up here.
Quite a bit of hail with that as well.
Just yards away.
So if we could, yeah. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, but, yeah. And that's this storm southwest of Bushland. All right, here's what I'm going to do really quick. Real quick. Y'all give me just a second. I'm not going to put music on. I'm just going to put Jason and his feed on here real quick. I'm going to go grab a protein bar and something to drink. And we'll keep going.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Lamar County in Texas.
No surprise there, we might have another fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Sorry. I actually had to take the Starlink off the car. Now that the primary internet's back. You've been watching meteorologist Jason Cooley. He's out there on this supercell southwest of Amarillo. Have a report of baseball-sized hail that fell on I-40 near Wildorado earlier, so yeah, storm's got some temper tantrum issues for sure. And you can see it's still hailing out in Jason land. Looks like that tornado warning is going to expire here at 6:15, and you can see we've got a number of storms ongoing out here in West Texas late this afternoon with large hail, damaging winds, a storm going up over Littlefield right now in Amherst. That's going to need a severe thunderstorm warning. And while I was out, the National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning up here for this storm near Paris. And I think they're putting one out now for
the National
either
Weather
Red
Service
River.
has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
McCurtain County in Oklahoma, Red River County in Texas.
All right, so this storm from Blossom to Lone Star has perked up now with the potential of 65-mile-an-hour winds and maybe some hail. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning in eastern Lamar County. This is going to be for Lone Star, Amherst, Faulkner, down to Blossom, Reno. This storm is going to be moving towards Clarksville, Dimple, Adelaide, Midway, Detroit, Liberty, Ackworth, Albion, Vesey, and that is also going to have the potential, well, with the same storm, of producing damaging winds and small hail. So heads up, y'all got flooded this morning. Now you're going to get lightning and damaging winds and maybe some more flooding with that storm moving east at 30 miles an hour. Out here, we've still got some pop-up storms from Old Diana to Ore City to Cedar Springs, west of Lone Star. That's going to be east of Crossroads, down towards Lafayette. Center Point, Cox there on FM 2796, back west to Bethlehem on Highway 271. To Brumley, those storms, dime-sized hail, heavy rain, and lightning slowly moving off to the east. All right, DFW, not a thing. You've got some light rain and gusty winds, but these storms have dissipated for DFW. Back into West Texas, severe thunderstorm northwest of Ralls, about to cross over Highway 62, moving south. The potential of tennis ball to baseball size hail, damaging winds, and very heavy rain. I'm going to see if we can get any cameras out here. Oh cameras, please be nice now. I don't see any cameras and I'm going to cry. Oh my, thank you very much. Anyway, what I can do though is pull up some cameras here on Interstate 27, which is what I'm going to do. We're going to pull a camera up in Hale Center. You could see, pretty ominous look, honestly. It's a camera in Hale Center. You're looking north up Interstate 27. You can see ominous precipitation. A lot of that has to do with the shadowing. So, still pretty ominous looking. I'm going to pull up some other cameras out here, see if we can't get some other views as these storms get closer to Plainview and Abernathy. Get that set up on my end real quick. So let me press some buttons. We'll be good to go. All right, so now we've got Hale Center, and we've got just north of Abernathy. Isn't that just the rest stop there, just north of Abernathy? I chased out there, and that's actually where I had baseball to softball-sized hail go through my headlight assembly back on October 13th, 2012. So we'll watch that with great interest, but again, I-27 is not a happy place right now from Plainview to Abernathy, including Hale Center, with a plethora of storms out here producing large hail and damaging winds. Outflow boundary starting to interact with the storm near Abernathy. I can't completely rule out a quick tornado out here on Highway 54 west of Interstate 27 as that occurs. We'll have to keep an eye out for that just in case. Otherwise, that is the rest area there, north of Abernathy. We've got this storm west of Littlefield moving off to the east. Not too quick, but enough to where we're going to have some hail. And I think they just put a warning out
The
for it.
National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for
Hockley, and Lamb County in Texas.
So that's a new severe warning for Sudan down to Amherst, Littlefield on Highway 84. Potential for hail up to the size of ping pong balls. Localized damaging winds over 60 miles an hour. That storm again moving east, southeast pretty slowly. Storms on I-27, honestly, they're moving east, southeast about 10 to 15. So once they hit you, they're going to be there for a while, and we're probably going to get some hail at the rest area here, south of Hale Center, north of Abernathy, and that's the bottommost camera right behind me. Hale Center camera is the middle camera. Top camera, that's meteorologist Jason Cooley up here on this storm southwest of Amarillo. So we're probably going to get some hail here at the Hale Center rest area pretty shortly, and we'll show you that when it occurs. This storm near Ralls, let me tell you, this thing is a destructive thunderstorm. This thing could have at least baseball-sized hail. Let me tell you, this thing has a nasty hail core. Those of you on Highway 62, 114, it is about to be a very angry storm with a lot of hail. Lorenzo to Ralls, get ready. Big hail. Southwest of Lubbock, storm has not taken off near Meadow and Ropesville. That's nice. Always nice to not have a new hailer develop. We've only got like 7 now. And then North Texas, well, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay, pick an idiom and say hooray. Look at that. Yay, yay, yay. The storm moving from Runaway Bay in Jacksboro has evaporated, dissipated, obliterated. Adios, samozwa abita zane, bye-bye. So, had some lightning with that. In fact, still might have a little cloud-to-ground lightning with that, honestly. But gusty winds for sure. But DFW, you're kind of winning. Right now, up in Red River County, this little line has intensified just east of Paris in Lamar County. That's going to be moving east into Red River County with the potential of some strong winds over 60 miles an hour, heavy rain, and cloud-to-ground lightning. Could also have some flooding issues develop again pretty quick. You can also see this is starting to develop a little further southwest towards Cooper and Commerce, the potential for localized heavy rain, damaging winds, and cloud-to-ground lightning. I need to put a camera right here. For folks who haven't watched the streams before, haven't heard me yippity-yap, I've got like 12 to 14 monitors surrounding me. So when I'm looking around, I'm looking at content, monitors. So I promise I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm just looking around at all this data. It's just me, myself, and I in here. I don't have a staff of 30 people sitting behind the scenes aggregating content yet. But, so a lot of that falls on me at the moment. I say at the moment because, well, we're going to fix that. So, y'all let us know where you're watching from. Hope you're having a good afternoon and evening and are enjoying your random Baldy and Chiefisms. Looks like meteorologist Jason Cooley's still playing in the hail. Otherwise, again, a lot of storms. Amarillo, you're in good shape, honestly, right now. This storm near southwest of Amarillo is just moving southeast now towards Canyon, interacting with that storm that was moving northeast. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But that storm, Canyon, heads up. You could be dealing with a hailer here shortly. That storm took a left and is turned southeast instead of south. We've got a storm over Dimmitt looking a bit stronger. Looks like we had a report of quarter-size hail in Dimmitt about 10 minutes ago. So we'll see what happens with that. And then we've got these storms on Interstate 27 from Plainview to Hale Center, the Hale Center rest area just north of Abernathy. We're waiting to see if we end up with any hail at the rest area there. And I've just changed the middle camera to I-27 in Abernathy, so we've got a camera in town and just north of town there at the rest stop. You can see it's very dark there in Abernathy right now as the storm's rolling in from the west. All right, looks like we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning.
The National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm
I
warning
thought we did.
for
Camp, Cass, Harrison, Marion, Morris, and Upshur County in Texas.
All right, so they've gone ahead and put a severe thunderstorm warning out now for these little storms out near Lone Star. This is going to include southeastern Camp, southwestern Cass, northwestern Harrison, western Marion, southern Morris, northern Upshur counties in East Texas. This is for the potential of small hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. So, heads up, Jenkins, Lone Star, Hughes Springs or City, Cedar Springs, Jenkins, Avenger, Lassiter, Holly Springs, Centerpoint, and Lafayette. You are in a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's localized damaging winds. And maybe some small hail. So heads up out here, some localized wind damage will be possible. Otherwise, kind of seeing this little line intensify a bit in northeast Texas. And again, that's going to be the potential for localized wind gusts over 60 miles an hour. And maybe some quarter-size hail with this activity. So center camera behind me is Abernathy. Bottom camera is going to be just north of Abernathy at the Hale County rest area. Just looking to see if we end up with any hail at either location. I'm not seeing any yet. And then meteorologist Jason Cooley is up on the storm approaching Canyon. Again, we're just looking around. We don't have any tornado warnings. We don't see anything about to produce tornadoes. Across western Texas, we definitely have storms with a lot of hail, strong winds, and heavy rain and lightning. And the lightning may start fires. If you want to track storms in your area, or part of the world, honestly. You could do so with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device.
Texas local storm report from 3 miles west of Ralls in Crosby County, Texas. Hail magnitude estimated 1.25 inches. Reported by public. Additional information, report from Ping, $50, 1.25 inches.
Sorry, I'm drinking my little protein shake thing here. I know it's unusual. I'm not drinking caffeine right now, right? You gotta balance it. So we're going to keep an eye on things. And what I'm going to do right now, we're going to take a bit of a break. If you're watching on Facebook, you can come watch us here on YouTube and Twitch. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers. Those streams are not going to end. I'm just going to take a little break. And we'll get you some music, the warning feed, and we'll have some updates through the evening. But I'm going to eat some dinner real quick. So if you're watching on Facebook, thanks for popping in. Hit us up over on YouTube, Texas Storm Chasers. And everyone else, well, streams will keep on going. So we'll talk to y'all again here in just a bit. Zippity-a. Pause the music and say hooray. I'm Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It's 7:14. We've got a tornado warning out in West Texas. Real quick before we get to that, though, we do have a couple of severe storms out here in northeast Texas. This is a pretty nasty line of damaging winds from Mount Vernon to Talco to Avery. Definitely becoming more concerned about damaging straight line winds with this activity as it moves east, especially after all the flooding rain. So we could see a lot of uprooted trees and tree damage out here. Otherwise, let's go. We got a lot of hailers out in West Texas, but we do have a tornado warning now. This is going to be southwest of Littlefield, west of Lums Chapel, north of Oklahoma Flat, northwest of Whitharral. This tornado warning does include Lums Chapel, Oklahoma Flat, Whitharral, southwest of Littlefield, northern Hockley, southern Lamb counties until 7:45 p.m. At 7:12, a severe storm capable of producing a tornado is located 7 miles east of Pep, or 7 miles southwest of Littlefield, moving southeast at 15 miles per hour. At southeast of 15 miles an hour. This does include Highway 385 south of Littlefield down to Whitharral. This includes Highway 149 or 1490 west of Lums Chapel, southwest of Littlefield and Oklahoma Flat. This does not include the city of Littlefield, but it does run just southwest of town. So this is a tornado warning. And here's the which way the wind's blowing mode. Again, there is some circulation here. We do have an outflow boundary. And that outflow boundary interacting with this storm could cause it to briefly spin up and become tornadic. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. But otherwise, the main issue will remain large hail. As this storm moves southeast, it's only moving 15 miles an hour. It's not moving quickly. We have a storm now in the southwest sides of Lubbock. That could start producing hail shortly. We've got a storm from Meadow to West Point. That has some hail. We've got a weakening storm southwest of Ralls, south of Lorenzo. That still has hail. We have a storm near Abernathy to Petersburg. That could have hail. All those are moving east-southeast. We have a storm over Plainview. Not much hail. Oh, goodness. And then oh, that was obnoxious. And then we have a nasty storm near Hart at the intersection of 145, 168, 194. That could have tennis ball size hail at least, along with damaging winds. And we do see that little hook. Let's take a look at the which way the wind's blowing mode. Not much of a low-level velocity signature there, but obviously a very well-organized and generally unhappy supercell there. Severe storm over Interstate 27 just north of the Happy and 87 split near Ogg. That storm is going to be moving off to the southeast at about 20 miles an hour with ping-pong ball-size hail damaging winds. North Texas, guess what? DFW, not a thing. Northeast Texas, these storms are becoming a little more rambunctious. Again, a pretty mean-looking line of storms now from near Mount Vernon to Bridges Chapel to Wilkinson, Hart's Bluff, Box Elder, Avery to Beaver Dam. That line is moving off to the east at about 35 miles an hour with the potential of damaging straight line winds and heavy rain. And this activity is moving east at about 35 miles an hour. As it does so, again, the potential for damaging winds that could bring down trees, bring down power lines, block roads with down trees. So heads up, DeKalb, Mount Pleasant, Argo, Dolby Springs, Lydia. Eventually into places like New Boston, Naples, Maud, Texarkana, all these places who got pummeled with 5 to 10 inches of rain this morning. We're seeing a pretty nasty wind signature with this. Winds aloft well over 70 miles an hour. And then we do have some strong storms, no longer severe, but heavy rain, small hail, gusty winds, and lightning. Avenger to Cedar Springs, Ore City, Dangerfield, Midway, Sardis, Almira, Gum Springs. And again, all these are moving east at about 30 miles per hour. And then back west, again, we have that tornado warning out here southwest of Littlefield in northern Hockley County near Lum's Chapel, southwest of Littlefield. Can't rule out a brief spin-up tornado, although we're not seeing a whole lot of low-level velocities right now. That's the good news. But there is an outflow boundary nearby that could briefly enhance the low-level vorticity or spin with this. Regardless, this thing has some nasty-looking hail signatures with it. So we'll see what happens with this, but I don't think this is going to be a long duration issue where, we're dealing with this for too long in the sense of a tornado warning. Now, in terms of hail, yeah, I mean, we're going to have hailers out here for several hours probably, but hey, just think of it as a good way to get some rain, right? It's kind of difficult to get rain in West Texas without wind or hail this time of year, so we'll keep an eye on it. Just like we're going to keep an eye on this storm near Hart, showing indications of producing some pretty big hail, damaging winds. Those of you on 145 and 168, you're going to get some big hail west to Center Plains around the community of Hart. Y'all let us know what you end up getting out there once it's safe to do so. Happy, you've got hail. Now, northeast Texas. This line of storms getting pretty nasty looking. Now up to 70 mile an hour winds possible with this as this line of storms moves off to the east. So, Argo, Mount Pleasant, New Hope, DeKalb. You've got the potential for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour as this line of storms approaches from the west. So y'all be in a safe place. I don't want anyone getting hurt out here because trees are coming down. I'll put a loop on this so we at least have a decent... You can see this line's moving east pretty quick. So Texarkana, Maud, Atlanta, Linden, get ready. You're going to have a nasty, mean line moving from west to east. Looks like we've got a new flash flood warning coming out, so we'll have that come across the stream in just a moment.
The National Weather Service has issued a new flash flood warning for
Little River County in Arkansas, McCurtain County in Oklahoma, Bowie, and Red River County in Texas.
You can see that flash flood warning does include DeKalb, Maud, New Boston, just west of Texarkana, and it probably sets y'all's phones off. But again, Heads up, everyone up here, northeast Texas, mean line of storms moving east, damaging winds that could bring down trees. All right, just north of the city of Lubbock, up near the airport to New Deal, we have a thunderstorm capable of producing hail on 27 near Abernathy, along with some gusty winds between New Deal and Abernathy. That'll be moving southeast towards Liberty, Idalou. We've got a storm near Lums Chapel to Oklahoma Flat, moving southeast. That storm's capable of producing a brief tornado, damaging hail up to the size of golf balls to tennis balls. Heavy rain and localized flooding. Mostly south of Highway 54 now, moving towards Whitharral. Storm near Hart. Definitely looking interesting here. I would not be surprised of this resulting in a tornado warning soon. Near Hart, as it moves southeast at about 10 whole miles an hour. Meteorologist Jason Cooley, top right box, is in Tulia right now, heading towards this storm, so hopefully we'll be able to get a visual from him, but I do think we probably are going to get a tornado warning for this pretty soon. So those of you south of Hart, north of Olton, northwest of Halfway, west of Edmondson, get ready. We're probably going to get a tornado warning out here soon as this dangerous-looking thunderstorm moves southeast with an increasing amount of low-level rotation. You can see that hook echo southwest of Hart. Here's the which way the wind's blowing mode, and you can see we do have some interesting velocity signatures starting to show up here as this storm moves southeast. You see that hook starting to wrap around a bit, so I do think we're probably close to getting a tornado warning with this. So the blessing is it's over rural areas, but guess what? If it's heading down your way and you're out here, well, it's not a blessing to you. So we're going to be here to talk about it as this storm continues moving southeast. Those of you in Happy, you're getting hail right now. Could be up to the size of quarters, could be up to the size of ping pong balls. All I know is at least you're not about to get hit by a tornado. So that's always a good day. Heavy rain, you betcha. Lightning, oh yes. Hail, probably. And localized damaging winds. Amarillo, you are in severe clear. You have nothing going on right now. Congratulations. Nothing upstream either. So that's good for y'all. Let's go back to northeast Texas. A line of severe storms capable of producing damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Extending now from near DeKalb back towards Liberty Hill to Hopewell, moving off to the southeast at about 30 miles per hour. I had to go make sure I didn't lock the front door. BRB. I did not. Hey, camera. I have a big, shiny, bald head. Keep up. So, south of Hart, northeastern portions of Lamb County, northwestern Hale County. Wouldn't be shocked if we end up dealing with a tornado warning soon. We'll see, though. South of Littlefield, we do have this tornado warning at the moment. Storm could have baseball-sized hail. A lot of hail showing up. Lums Chapel down 385 towards Whitharral. Back west on 597 to Oklahoma Flat. This storm moving southeast at about 15 miles an hour. The potential for damaging winds. Really not seeing a lot of low-level velocity signature with this right now, which is good, but definitely a lot of hail with this storm as it moves off to the southeast. Southeast at about 15 miles per hour. All right, Lubbock, you've got a storm over you, maybe some very small hail over the south sides of town. Same up near Abernathy. Then we've got this storm near Hart moving southeast, showing an interesting signature. It may be a little outflow dominant, though. That velocity signature is a bit displaced from that reflectivity hook echo, so a little bit of radar trickery going on there, but still some interesting low-level rotation. Hail near Happy, riding down Interstate 27 towards Kaffir and Tulia over the next hour. Otherwise, northeast Texas, we've got these storms from Mount Pleasant to Avery. Moving on to the east with the potential of damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Not much of a hail threat, but definitely enough wind to knock some trees down, especially given how much rain we've had lately. And all that's going to result in, well, tree damage, power outages, trees blocking roads. We're probably going to have some flood issues out here as well, given how saturated soils are from earlier today. Turn the magical radar loop on. You could see southern half of the state, and really decent chunk of Texas, not much going on. Residual cloud cover in North Texas from storms earlier today that have dissipated. We've got a plethora of storms ongoing in the southern Panhandle, West Texas. And then we have storms in the Arklatex once again. Storms in the Arklatex are moving east at about 40 miles an hour with damaging winds of 70 miles an hour. And then we have the storms in West Texas moving southeast at about 15 miles an hour. The potential of some of those to produce quite a bit of large hail and localized damaging wind gusts. We did have a tornado warning. That tornado warning has been canceled for northern Hockley County. So we have no tornado warnings once again. We have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings, though. So northeast Texas, this line of storms moving east-southeast with damaging winds. Out in western Texas, we have a number of storms producing very large hail. So what I'm going to do now is we'll be back with an update, most likely by 8 p.m., if not sooner. We'll keep the live radar stream going, and you can keep an eye on the sky with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Interactive weather radar there in the free mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps to your device, and we'll keep an eye on the sky with you, and we'll be back if we get some pretty rowdy, angry storms. But again, Texarkana, Mount Pleasant, Atlanta, all the way down towards Pittsburgh, damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour could bring down trees as this line of storms moves from west to east at about 40 miles an hour. And then back in western Texas, several to numerous severe storms with up to tennis ball to baseball size hail, damaging winds, and a low tornado threat. We'll keep an eye on the sky, and you can do the same again. Free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app.